Joe, Merry freaking Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas, gentlemen. You know, today is Festivus. Before I get into my and I got a lot to complain about. I have to ask both you two guys are Giant guys.
Yep.
Okay, and both of you are. Would John Mara, who I know absolutely despises the Jets, would he trade with, if you guys get the number one pick, would he trade with the Jets, so we could get Mendoza?
I think you would. I think you would. Mainly, Joe, because the Giants need so much more elite talent. And the only chance to get that, because they don't have any cap space, is in the draft.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, for you, though, Joe, it's going to depend on where you finish.
Yeah,
like if you mess around and win a game.
They're not winning.
I know,
Tiki, hold on. Tiki, they're playing the Patriots and the Bills. What win?
True, right?
What are you talking
But let's just say you mess around and win a game, then all of a sudden
winning.
you got a long way to go. But I think going from 4 to 1, that's not that hard.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see them going to 1. It would be great if that happened. They wouldn't have to give up any draft capital to get the quarterback. But come on, right now they'd have a hard time beating Indiana or Ohio State. I mean, come on. I mean,
It's really amazing.
Don't you hate when your team gets to that point?
You know what?
Where you start talking
used
about
to it.
they're worse than the best college teams.
Yes, but I'm so what college guys get paid now too. So
That's true.
I'm so used to it, but I'm so disgusted. I mean, between what and I'm going to be nice. It's a family show. Between what Steve Cohen and David Stearns have done to my baseball team, and the fact that this Jet season has turned into just a unmitigated disaster. Outside of the moves, I mean, look, I give Muji credit. He did a great job getting all those draft picks.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, there's a lot to complain about.
I mean, it was bad on Sunday. I didn't think it was that bad to make you sick, Joe. I mean,
yeah, I wasn't good. Let me tell you, honestly, seriously, guys, I was in bed all day yesterday. I mean, I got up and I couldn't. That's it. I said bed. I told my wife I got to go back to bed. I didn't get up all day. I didn't even eat. Yesterday. Didn't take a shower, and that never happened. That's how bad I was.
I'm glad that we're on Zoom right now.
Yeah.
I showered now. Don't worry.
So Joe, you mentioned obviously trading up. I think the Giants would do it. To me, they're going to trade to the highest bidder. This is going to be unique because I think it's more than, I was arguing about this with Evan last week, more than matching up on the charts thing. If the Jets and Raiders, and this becomes like a slight bidding war to trade up with the Giants, if it got to that point, is there a point where you would bow out and be okay if the Raiders were the ones that traded with the Giants, though? How badly do you want Mendoza?
Do the Raiders have what we have to give? I think that's the key.
Exactly it. So,
yeah.
I mean, but to
You know what
do
I mean?
that, you're going to have to give up probably what? Besides the flop.
Well, let me ask you, Sean, because you're a big Giant fan, and Tika, both of you guys. So let's say, Muji goes to Shane and says, "Look, here's the deal.
Right.
We'll give you our number one. Obviously, you're going to switch number ones. Okay. We'll give you the Colt pick at whatever, and that's getting better and better all the time.
No doubt.
They're sinking fast. We'll give you a number one this year, the Colt pick. We'll give you a number one next year. We'll give you a number 2 this year and a number 2 next year. Would you do it?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
No doubt. I think that's Joe. I know we're not allowed to think this way, but there's a chance that actually works out for both the Jets and Giants.
Yeah,
and I think we
of
can walk
course.
away very happy.
Of
I mean,
course.
boy, wouldn't that be a novel concept?
Wow.
The other thing I would tell you guys, though, we keep focusing on the Raiders and them competing with the Jets and asking, do they have it? Do they have it? Yeah, man. Cleveland's lurking after that draft trade last year with Jacksonville. They have the capital, too, Joe.
Yeah. Are they completely not sold on Sanders, though? I mean,
I don't think so. But I think what might happen, Joe, is that Stefanski gets fired.
Right.
I mean, Stefanski gets fired, and then whoever comes in doesn't like any of the quarterback situations. You know what I mean? Because it's just bad there. From Gabriel, he's too little. Shador Sanders has been inconsistent.
Are they still paying Deshaun Watson too?
And Deshaun Watson, they're still on their books. And so, we think our teams are bad. That's a cluster.
No, it's a total cluster. But that's why I think, if you bring somebody new in there, they might look at those picks and go, I like Fernando Mendoza. This is what could change us forever.
Right.
And I think they're like the secret team that's lurking. Joe, we also talked about earlier, Everything that's suddenly happening with the Ravens since that horrible loss on Sunday night, they kind of feel like they could be disbanding a little bit. I don't think this is likely.
John Harbaugh?
We're talking about John Harbaugh to the Giants, but even the idea of could Baltimore actually look to get out of Lamar Jackson after this year? Would you rather a Lamar Jackson on a hefty salary or start over trading up the picks to get a Mendoza?
You know, as good as Jackson is, and you know, I honestly, he's very good. I look at him as a little overrated, a little bit. I'm not saying he's not tremendous. He's got 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
But he doesn't win in the playoffs. He's never been to a Super Bowl. He's been banged up a lot this year. Honestly, guys, seriously, and I really mean this, okay? I want my guy. I want to get, for the first time since Joe Namath, I want my quarterback. Does that make sense to you?
No, it does, because you want to draft your look, it's okay if you get a veteran that comes in and he wins for a couple of years and whatever it is what it is. Right. But very rarely is that going to be like Matt Stafford. Right, Matt Stafford was really good in Detroit. They sucked as a team, but he was really good.
Tremendous.
He goes to L.A. He's better.
Yeah.
He's better as a Ram. I mean,
look at the team. He's
right.
got.
Look,
Now,
if he somehow plays another 2 years, let's say wins another Super Bowl, whatever. I'm just doing that to make him a Hall of Famer, and he goes in the Hall of Fame. Is he going in as a Detroit Lion or is he going in as an L.A. Ram?
No, he's a Ram.
Exactly.
He's a Ram now.
Now think about that. This is Matt Stafford. He was like.
Yeah.
He was.
No, you're right.
And so, but that's rare. My point is that's very rare. And so you need to kind of do it yourself. Build a kid, get a kid young, build him up, put good stuff around him. You know, win while he's young and you haven't paid him yet, and then ultimately you have a franchise quarterback. But it feels like it's easy. It's just not easy to do.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, we haven't had one in 60 years, so I gotta ask both you guys this too. There's talk about trading Dart. What are you, nuts?
No.
I mean, come on.
Evan's bringing that up because he's trying to.
But get Dart to the Jets?
No, I think maybe, but I think he's.
Well, that would never happen. The Giants would never make that.
Absolutely
trade
not. I think he's trying to say whenever the new coach comes in, if the new coach doesn't like Jackson Dart, or I don't know why he wouldn't. Don't you have to have an open mind about who the new head coach wants?
And this is what I would say about Dart too, Joe, is if the Giants, like let's say we find out in another year, you know what, maybe we overrated Dart to start.
Okay.
This is why I want that number 1 pick in the trade out, because you talked about getting that extra one next year. Well, what the hell's to stop the Giants? If Dart stinks, then the Giants are going to stink next year. They'll be right back in the mix. I have no problem waiting a year and drafting a quarterback after that. Why would I give up on him after year 1?
Right. Well, the guy that I really want more than anybody is next year, and that's Arch Manning. Now,
who got better as the year went on, Joe?
Bro, I'm telling you, look, you know this as well as I. Look, there's no guarantees for quarterbacks, anything in the NFL as far as coming from college, but certainly quarterbacks. But everything, you know, he's gotten better. Like you said, Texas should have been in the playoff, but that's for another day.
Had a better case than Notre Dame, but I digress.
Well, I mean, they probably did, but Notre Dame should have been there too. I mean, do I need to see James Madison and Tulane in the playoffs?
No,
I mean, come on.
No.
You know, but be that as it may, you know, I like Manning. He's got the Manning pedigree. You know, he's going to play another year. Probably wants to see if he can win the Heisman Trophy, too, because none of the Mannings ever won it.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a factor, too. But, you know, look, I'll put it this way, where I look at it with the Jets. If they don't get Mendoza, I don't want to stretch for a quarterback. Don't do that. You know, that to me, that's a mistake. You know, they did that with Zach Wilson, you know, and it turned out to be a complete disaster. You know, let's say the Jets go 4. I don't know where the Colt pick is now, 16, 17, whatever it is right now. I would just go and take the 2 best defensive players I can get. That's what I do because the defense is such a mess. Give me the 2 best. It doesn't matter the position. Don't matter. 2 best defensive players I can get. We also have 2 number 2 picks.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe get another. And maybe, look, I don't know where he's going to wind up. But, you know, I've told you this, Teak. I love Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
I know he's small.
Yeah.
But if you can get him 2nd, 3rd round,
he's
worth taking a shot.
He's worth taking a flyer on because you just don't know how he's going to, if he can play on the league.
Right.
The Colts pick is currently 18, Joe. So, look, if I'm the Jets, your offensive line feels like it's getting there. You got 2 edges that you're
Simpson stinks, but he's a free agent.
Right. So but you can bring someone in free agent. So you got a ton of cap space, but you got your 2 tackles. You got a good run game right now. You got one of the best wide receivers in football, and you
got to get him healthy.
You need defense, and you probably need another wide receiver. Right, I don't know how deep this wide receiver draft is this year. Last year,
I think one thing.
Every year, there's always good wide receivers.
Well, how about the kid from Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith? Is he coming out?
No, that's next year. Carnell Tate's the one coming out this year.
I don't know if he's as good as Smith, though.
Yeah. I'll tell you who I love is Texas A&M. That Concepcion is going to go in the first round, too.
Yeah, he's fast, too.
Yeah.
He's very fast. Yeah, no question about that. Yeah. Look, I mean, again, I gotta concentrate on defense. You know, you're right. They could use another receiver. Mm-hmm. You know, Mitchell looks like at least a guy that's going to be on the team.
Yes. AD Mitchell's going to be. Look, he's valuable.
There's no question. I mean, that trade. I can't say enough about what Muji did pulling that trade off.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it just sucks that I got another year. You know, I'm not going to the game Sunday. But
I don't blame you.
There's going to be 50,000 Patriot fans in the building. You know, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, just what the world needed. The Patriots great again.
Oh God.
Speaking of that, Joe, we were just having some fun. Rami on the other side's a Jet fan. We were talking about this. Now, on this disastrous season, we know nobody's as beaten down as you are, Joe. Yeah, you have so many potholes of like rooting interest in the playoffs. Rodgers and the Steelers could make a run. The freaking Patriots, Saleh running this defense with the Niners.
Yep.
Is it out of all of those options?
Sam Darnold. How about Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold with the Seahawks.
Come on.
Would all of those
Does
scenarios?
Devontae Adams count with the Rams?
Well, I get you want to throw him in there.
I mean, he kind of does.
I mean, you know what, Joe? Let's play the game. We gave you 5 there. Rank them. What would bother you the most in terms of winning a Super Bowl this year and what seems to be a wide open playoff?
The thing that bothers me the most is Rodgers, because we had him and he wanted to be here.
Yeah.
You know, this kills me. And I read it. I like Brian Costello, and I actually texted him today and let him have it about this. He's talking. No, but he writes this column today about the biggest need the Jets had coming into this season was at the quarterback position. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. We had Aaron Rodgers who wanted to be a Jet.
That's true.
And Aaron Glenn, and I blame Glenn for this, and Woody too. Get the hell out of here. We want Justin Fields. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that killed the year. Let's be honest. Look, I'm not saying
that was a huge mistake, Joe.
Huge.
There's one thing you look at, the starter regime with Darren Muji, it was paying Justin Fields $30 million in guaranteed money.
No question
over
about
2 years. And he's never proven that he can be the guy. Right? He had one good year, and that was mostly because he ran for 1,000 yards in Chicago.
Right.
Otherwise, he's just been an average, at best, quarterback.
Yeah.
Look, if we had Rodgers, I'm not saying we even make the playoffs or anything, but at least we would have had a season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It'd be unwatchable.
Right.
It wouldn't be unwatchable. So Rodgers in play. So Rodgers versus Saleh could be the Super Bowl here.
I'm actually rooting for Rodgers. I got to tell you, I actually am. I really am, because it just makes my franchise look even worse.
That's fair.
You know he couldn't play for Aaron Glenn, but he could play for Mike Tomlin. Come on.
Right, and all the playoff losses Tomlin's have, that Rodgers get him back over the hump, that'd be something.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I mean, everybody was running Tomlin out of town, and then they won 3 games in a row since then, you know, and they're going to win the division. There's no doubt about it. So it's unbelievable.
Might be the only coach in that division that survives. Now, you started talking about Festivus and airing the grievances. Where are you at with the McNeil trade now?
I'm disgusted. I can't say enough bad things about Steve Cohen and David Stearns. I just can't.
They're just resetting, Joe. But aren't they just resetting? And didn't they need to?
We said no. No, they didn't. Well, all they needed to do was to fix the pitching staff. You know, this is what kills me. The guys that they let go. Pete Alonso he was one of the best players. He hit 126 RBIs and 38 homers. Right. He had 41 doubles. Diaz, best relief pitcher in baseball. Nimmo, who had a solid year, by the way, 100. His OPS 100 points higher than this guy Simeon that they traded for. No,
but run prevention, Joe. Simeon plays great defense. You know what Stern says?
Run prevention. So let's get rid of the best closer in baseball, Sean.
Joe, by the way, I agree with you.
I mean, come on. Are you kidding? So if they fix the pitching staff, which, by the way, I put on Stearns, giving $34 million to Frankie Montas, all the stiff relief pitchers he brought in at the deadline, not getting a veteran starter at the deadline. He trades for another stiff, Cedric Mullins. I mean, come on.
I forgot about Mullins.
Right?
Yeah.
All you have to do is fix let me say this, Sean. If you would have left those guys alone and we went to war this year with the 3 kids at the top of the rotation, okay? McLean, Sprout, and Tong, and then, maybe we bring in a guy for the 4th starter. What if, the 4th starter was going to be Clay Holmes anyway.
Right.
So you bring in another guy. What? You tell me that's not a contending team?
Yeah. Peterson's still here. Yeah.
Right. Mania is still here.
Yeah.
Right. Mania, too. You tell me that's not a contending team?
I mean, it can be. The challenge now, Joe, and I get why Met fans are upset, is that how are you replacing the runs?
You're not.
Like, where's that coming from?
You know what? I got the runs from this team, and it's from Cohen and Stearns. And I'm going to tell you, and I mean this, I would sign for a 70-win season to get Stearns the hell out of here, because he brought. I really believe this. Okay, and Cohen actually had the nerve to call the fans idiots, call people idiots.
Well, he clarified that and said he was talking about the media trolls.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't look.
He wrote Evan. He DM'd Evan.
Did you guys go over that on the show? I missed it.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
He did.
Well, Evan couldn't be too happy with him either. What did he say about Cohen?
I don't know what he responded back to him.
Yeah, Evan did tell us that Cohen reached out to him. That was fraud. I hadn't talked to Evan about that since.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. Well, he's got to do some damage control, Cohen, now.
Mm-hmm.
But I said this on this show before, guys. This is all about Cohen's casinos. He brought this guy in here to run the Mets like a small market team because he's got all this money tied up in these casinos. And I'm telling you, anybody thinks that this guy Stearns is going to go out there and spend big money on you, Frambois Valdez, no shot.
Yeah.
Rangers Suarez, no shot. No way.
He's being
Alex Bregman, that's not happening.
No, he's been very conservative.
Yeah, Joe, I will tell you, I know that Michael King wanted to be a Met. His wife wanted him to come home.
Is that true?
Jersey. Oh, yeah, and the Mets would not answer their calls. That's what I was told.
Wow.
That's what I was told.
He better not trade Lindor. I'm going to tell you right now. I honestly, because I've heard rumblings about that. If he did trade Lindor, that tells you all you need to know, that they're getting money out. It's all about money.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt.
Right.
If he trades him, I'm not that I would ever not be a Met fan, but oh my God.
Well, everybody now, because of Benigno, McNeil, Pete Alonso, they're making it about the clubhouse. They're saying the reason that they shook it up was because the clubhouse was just a mess. And so getting rid of those guys cleans it up a little bit.
Well, you know what I say? I say the clubhouse was a mess because they all hated Stearns. How about that? I don't think anybody this guy comes across like he's the smartest guy in the room. I'm smarter than everybody. Teak, I'm sure they would never tell you publicly. I guarantee every one of those guys he got rid of couldn't wait to get the hell away from Stearns and couldn't stand him. And I'm telling you, man, give me a 60-win season. Get this guy the hell out of here. And by the way, Mike Lupica had one of my buddy texted me about this with Lupica, who I'm not a big fan of to begin with, but nevertheless, Lupica made a great statement, though. He said, after the McNeil trade, he goes, so when's Stearns going to trade Gary, Keith, and Ron? When are they going?
That is so true.
Right?
Yeah. Joe.
Sean, tell me just one more thing, Sean, because you're a big Yankee fan. And I got to say this, and I have great respect for you because you love your teams, you're like me, and you wear it on your sleeve, okay? I am sick and tired of the Yankee fans crying because every year you win 90-plus games, you're in the playoffs. How'd you like to beat a garbage that we got in Flushing? How'd you like that?
I would rather be a Yankee.
Would you like that?
But, Joe, that shows you. No, I would rather be a Yankee fan than a Met fan.
I'm just saying, of course.
But, Joe, I think you would get to this point as a Met fan if you were running into the same crap with Cashman every year. You know what I mean? Every time you climb a level, there's a new set of problems.
I'll say the reason look, Sean, this has never been the case with me with the teams I root for.
Yeah.
Okay? Finally, maybe I got a championship. I certainly have a contender with the Knicks.
Yeah.
But knowing the Knicks, they'll lose some brutal game in the playoffs at home and not get to the finals.
I mean, true.
Right? I mean, I've seen it too many times. But this is why I can't relate to that, Sean.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
And I'm not knocking
you're talking about why the Yankee fan is upset.
Upset. Because
you haven't done anything in this offseason. You just re-signed the easy pieces.
But you're still going to win 90 games.
Yes. And I think that's why it's okay.
Yeah, I know.
And you'll sign Bellinger. You're going to sign Bellinger.
I'm very worried the Mets are going to sign him, but I understand. There's no.
They're not going to. I'm telling you right now, Sean, they will not spend the money.
It feels like they're not spending money this year.
Joe, in the words of you, from your lips to God's ears.
No,
now,
I don't see it.
I do want to say this, Joe. Years back, I mean, we're talking about 13 years ago now. One of my favorite times to work was around now. Whenever you and Evan would do the show, I get filling for Dover, whatever. Mm-hmm. You were the best around Christmas time. You love your Christmas songs. You would give me the list, what to bump back with. When I think of WFAN at Christmas, I think of Joe Benigno. But I wanted to ask you this because I got a little debate with my wife yesterday. She's going up to Home Goods on the dog's Christmas presents. And I need to know, in the Benigno house, are the cats getting Christmas presents?
I don't know. Did you get Christmas presents for the cats or not? What? Did you get Christmas presents for the cats?
A couple of toys.
A couple of toys.
Okay, all right.
That's something.
All right,
Yeah.
see? Okay, so we're not the only crazy people getting the pet.
No, she
My dogs get gifts.
They open them
sure
up
you
with the
guys-
wrapping paper?
You guys, you got dogs, I got cats. You get very emotionally attached
No,
to them.
no doubt about it.
Right?
They're members of the family.
Of course.
And
No
you only
question
have them
about
for a limited amount of time. So
Unfortunately.
Right.
That's true.
All right,
But
so-
you're right.
So, Joe, favorite Christmas song of all time?
Wow. Can I give you 5?
Sure.
The John Lennon "So This Is Christmas" song.
Love it.
With the Plastic Ono band or whoever's there.
Yeah.
The great album, and he was a disaster, obviously. Phil Spector, he murdered that girl. But the Phil Spector Christmas album, and specifically the Ronettes' Sleigh Ride, which is just tremendous. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
That's it. Iconic.
Bobby Helms, what is it again? What I can't think of it. What's the song
Bobby
by
Helms
Bobby?
song.
Yeah, you'll see. I can't think of it off the top of my head. And what was the other one? The Jose Feliciano and Feliz Navidad.
Are you talking about Jingle Bell Rock?
Jingle Bell Rock, yeah.
Yes.
Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock, yes.
Oh,
Yep.
interesting. I would have thought you went with a, please, baby, please come home for Christmas. That feels like it's up.
You know what's a good song, too? Have you ever heard by the Waitresses, Christmas Rap?
I heard that today because
How good is that, bro?
It's very
Christmas
big in the movie
rap?
Fred
Yeah,
Claus.
check it out.
Yeah.
T, check it out. It's
I
funny as
will.
hell.
Yeah.
It's very funny. It's good. It really is good.
Excellent song. Well, Joe,
I think it starts out with Bah Humbug. I think it starts out, those are the first 2 words.
Yeah, she meets a dude in the
Definitely.
supermarket. She's having like a solo Christmas. Very good song. Very
Tiki,
good.
check it out, man.
I will.
Very good.
I'll listen to it in the break.
Yeah, you forgot
Yeah.
cranberries too? That's exactly. Joe.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Joe.
Hey, Merry Christmas, guys.
All the
God
love,
bless.
brother.
It was great working with you guys all year. And by the way, Sean, what's happening? Are you staying on with the program at 10 o'clock? Or
I am with Evan and Tiki in midday starting January 5th. Yes.
Great. God bless, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you, Joe.
Joe.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We'll talk
Merry
to you.
Christmas. The
Thanks.
great Joe Benigno.